Okay, we'll start. So someone asked me, can I stick my motors with hot glue gun because it's falling off every time? Okay, so do you have like issues like tightening the nut like on the screws, like putting in the bolts and the nuts? Or is it just falling off even after you tighten it?
It falls off like whenever I tied the bolts too.
Can you repeat that?
It falls off when I tied the bolts too.
Okay. Do you mind like sharing your camera and like did you do all four motors?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not recommended that you hot glue it because like the yellow part of the motors is plastic. So if you melt the plastic, it's pretty bad for the motor. Maybe use like double-sided tape or something. There's like types of double-sided tape, but I can show you once we start. But it's like it's just flat piece of tape, and then there's gum on both sides, and then you could use that to to um stick your motors together with the frame. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Could you also like show me what do you mean by it's not like falling off? Because without using hot glue gun, you can just screw it in. Like, could you turn on your camera or anything like that? Oh, okay. So you already put in the little frames. I understand what you mean. So you don't need it. So I'll actually show you an image. Just hold on 1 minute. I'll share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there is the video. So so I forgot who it was, but you just asked me to hot glue it. So the reason why it's not fitting is because you have to put it through the board. So there's like these pillars like holes inside the board. You're supposed to put it through the board and then screw in your motors and your nuts. So
But I pushed it through the board, but still when I shake it a little bit, it falls down.
yeah, so you're supposed to okay, so I'll actually show you. Okay, so if you can see, I'll just show you to you when I'm sharing my camera on on my table. And then if it doesn't work, then you can ask me again. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. So today we're gonna wire the robot. So has anyone heard of circuit diagrams? No? Okay. So these are circuit diagrams. So everyone has an Arduino, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is an Arduino, and let's say this is a breadboard. You don't need to have a breadboard. These are just examples. But circuit diagrams basically tell you what to connect to. So let's say on Arduino pin 8 or 9, it's connected to an LED. So it tells me how to connect a circuit board. How do I connect the robot so it'll run? That's all it is. It just tells, so if I make a video and then I don't actually explain how to wire things, I would show you the circuit diagram and then you would follow the circuit diagram and then just copy all the wirings. That's how electronics or electricity works. All you do is just you tell other people how to connect things. So it's, let's say in your programming you have a pin like GPIO pin number 8, and then you have to connect it to LED. So like I'm explaining it literally through my mouth, but what if I can't explain it, I would draw it out saying that this is pin 8 and then I would go to the LED. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's all it is. So I will draw a circuit diagram, and then based on that, you can wire your robot and everything um, based on the circuit diagram. And then I'll help you with like the H bridge and like how you should put in the wires. So you should have your H bridge, your Bluetooth, jumper wires, and your battery. So you don't have to have your batteries, you just your battery pack, like the kit where your battery stores, and then your robot. So yeah. Before I show you, I'll actually show you like how you can make your motors be attached to the bottom frame without hot gluing it. So I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes to share my camera so that you could see my table. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so is it like reversed? Like, is it like opposite to what I can see? Like, I can see Bluetooth right here. So do you see like the opposite of it, or do you see Bluetooth?
I see like the opposite of it.
Okay, so I will, so it's hard for me to draw opposite, but after I'm done, I can show you. So someone asked me, how I should where is okay, so if I okay, so if you like the person who asked me about the hot glue gun, so this is how you would actually attach the motors. Do you see what? So you already screwed in the motors and screwed into the like the nut and everything. You're not supposed to screw it into the nut yet. You have to put these like little plastic frames into the board and then screw it in. If you don't do that, then it's going to fall off. So you have to put this one in, and then you have to put the second one in. You have to put two in. If you can see it, they're clear so you can't see, but there's one right here, and then there's one right here at the edge, and you're supposed to connect them with this like screw in the middle. So this is the screws on the outside and then the nuts on the inside, and then that's why there's two, and you're supposed to connect it like that. Does that make sense to the person who said should I hot glue it? So you don't need to hot glue it. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you just forgot the step of putting it inside. You just have to put one outside and then one on the inside. So you have to put it through the board, and then it would come on the other side. will come on the other side, and then you can just screw it and have a nut and bolt on both sides. That's just how you do that one. So you don't need hot glue gun. It's better not to use it. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram for my robot. Everyone else's robot's going to be different because I only have one battery. All of you will have two, just for safety. So this is the H bridge. This is a very messy version of it because I plan on drawing one for all of you. And then if you can't see it through the camera clearly right now, I'll upload the image to the WhatsApp group, and then you can copy the circuit diagram from there, and then you can connect everything from there. So this is just a messy version of it. So this is the H bridge, this is the Arduino, this is the Bluetooth, this is the battery. So this is the power. So if you actually get your Arduino out, I literally drawed how the Arduino would look like. This is mine. I took it off from the robot. So this is what the Arduino looks like, and if you compare it, here you go. So this is the power, if you can see it. So this is the power, and then this is the like the port that connects to your computer. The extra like cable that you bought, that's what this is. You connect it here and then connect it to your USB, and then it converts to a USB, and then you connect it to your laptop or computer. So and then these are like pins. Both of these pins are GPIO pins, and you use jumper wires, the ones that have like, this is 5 volts. So like these, you have pins, and then you put them into the board. And so that's how that works. So now I'll actually draw your circuit board so that you can actually see how it's going to look. So I also named this as the front. Can you see the pen clear enough, or is it too thin?
That's good.
Okay, so this would be the back side and this would be the front side of the robot. That's how I built my robot, like how I built the diagram, just so I could know how I'm going to build it on the robot. Okay, so I named this the front side. So does anyone know anything about H bridges?
No. No.
Okay, so H bridges are basically motor controllers. H bridge and motor controllers are the same thing, but they pretty much control your motors, and there's encoders. Encoders just mean the signal, or like how fast a robot should go, how fast the wheels should go, or how slow they should go. We're not going to use encoders for today, so you don't have to worry about it. So do you want me to draw the circuit diagram, or should I just start wiring and then I'll share the circuit diagram in the WhatsApp if you're not finished? So do you want me to draw a circuit diagram right now, or actually show you how to wire it?
I think show us how to wire it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a better idea. Um, so mine's like very messy. Oh, I forgot to put back my link. Okay, so you'll have these in the First, get your motor controller, your H bridge, and then put it in front of your robot, like close to here. Okay. So Pooja has hers. I'm just gonna use you as an example for today. So she has hers. She named one side front and one side back. So make sure all of you know which side's front and which side's back. For me, I named wherever the batteries are is the back, and this is the front where it's just like empty. So I put the motor controller on front. So do you have extra screws for like putting in your motor controller? There's like screws on there's like holes at the four corners of the motor controller. If you have screws and nuts and you have holes on the circuit board, on the board, the plastic board, it's not plastic, but on the board, if you have holes and nuts and it fits in, you can do it. But if not, I don't have any. I used double-sided tape. So you don't have to have it. You could just put it in the air on, so you don't have to, it will just be flying when you drive the car. So it's better to use double-sided tape. It's just glue on this side and this side. It's also better to have it because this heats up. This is a heat sink. So if you turn it on too long, it will heat up, but this will try to cool it down. So if it's also better, like it's like a as a rubber concussion, so that this, if like it hits something, it won't like hurt itself pretty much. So it's better to have it, but if you have screws and holes into the board, then you can use it. For temporary purposes, you could also just tape this part to the board, like double tape, loop it. Or you could just leave it in the air. So once you just place your your motor controller here, you will connect it. So I have these extra pins. Okay, so I have mine. So first of all, does everyone have wires on their motor control, on their motors? So okay, so flip your motor controller, and then actually, so I have red wires here and black wires here. There's like pins, two pins on the black side. So on every black side, there's like two pins, one at the top and one at the bottom. Does everyone see that?
Yes. Kind of blurry.
Is my camera blurred?
Yeah, tiny bit.
Okay, so that's okay. So mine, you can see there's like a metal piece right here. So this is soldering, like I explained this before. All you can do is just tape it. It's an inefficient way, but you can tape it or hot glue it. I think it's more easier to hot glue it, but just make sure that you're not melting anything. So you get a red and a black wire. It does not matter which way you like. I have a red here and a red here, and then a black here and a black here. Oh, you can't see it. So a black here, the black on the bottom, the black on the bottom, the red on the top, and then the red on top. So you just hot glue these two wires to both of the pins on one of the motors, and then you would do the same thing here, if you can see them. So I just disconnected one of the red ones because I did not I just wanted to show you an example. So you could just loop. So there's like hooks, they're like hooks on the motor controllers, and then there's like a hole. You could also just put the little wires and then hook them on. You could just like hook them on and then tighten them so that they won't get loose. So I lost my hooks, so it's hard for me to show you, but there's like hooks, and then you just put the wire in the hooks and then twist them. And then that's what you do for all 4 motors. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter which way you do the black and the red. You can change. So let's say if you accidentally say that when you turn this on, like these 2 wheels don't go in the same direction, like they're going in opposite directions. You could change it in your H bridge, or you could change it in your programming. So it won't matter, but it's better if you do all 4 of them the same way. So the black's on the bottom here, the red's on top, the black's on bottom here, and then the red's on top. The black's on here and the red's on top. I switched these 2, but it's okay. I'll just change in my program. So all you have to do is just hot glue gun or tape the red and the black. Don't tape the insulation, just tape the copper wire. All of you can do that now.
I still don't understand how you put the wire.
Okay, so do you have like hooks on your motor? Like on the black edge? Okay.
Would it be like this one? Right over here.
Can you move your finger? Okay, so I don't see yours, so let me see. Okay, so I'll share my screen again. So I can't see Pooja's little metal pieces. So can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the little metal pieces that you should have. So these little pieces at the edge, you should have 2. So these are the 2 metal pieces I'm talking about. You connect one of them to the red, one of them to the black wire.
Yeah, I have this.
Okay, so you connect that, and then there's a hole inside. There's like a hole. That's where you like loop the wire into it, and then you tighten it. So like there's this like tight loop. So let's say my finger's the loop. So there's this loop, and then you put the wire into it. You put the wire into it, and then you loop it around and tie it. Does that make sense, Pooja?
Kinda.
Okay. How many of you are wiring it?
Can you show me your robot once again?
Yeah, I'm my robot's right here. Can I see yours? Like up close, like the 2 pins? I can't see the pins. Yeah, okay, so I see the pins now. So all you have to do is I'm here. So the pins are right here, correct? I don't have the same wire as you, so it's hard for me to explain it with this wire. But let's say you have this wire, and on your the red piece you're holding, do you have like is it bare copper wire at the end?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's too small, you can cut the wire insulation, and then all you have to do is just put it through the loop, put the wire through the loop. It doesn't matter which side, just matters that you do the same thing for all 4. Can you put them through the loop? Or is it too tiny?
Yeah, it's too tiny.
Okay, so all other things you can do is just hold the put it through some of it, like there's like tiny strands of the wire. You just put some of it through so it's touching the middle piece. As long as the copper wire is touching that piece, then the current will flow through. So just put it around. So if it won't go through the hole, put it, let's say this was my hand and then there's a hole, just put the wire on top of it and then tape it. Is that more easier to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so all of you can do that. Just have, this is the middle piece and there's a circle in the middle. Just put the wire on top of it and make sure it's touching the middle piece. The copper wire is touching the middle piece and then tape it. And then you do that for all 4 sides. And all 8 wires, the black and red. I'm going to move on. So if you get the red wire done, give me a thumbs up or say you're done, because actually wiring the other parts is important. But like you can finish them at home, like after I'm done. So if you finish one of the wires, give me a thumbs up or say that you're done, so then we can move on. And then after class, you can finish all the rest.
How do you connect? Should we connect these wires or this one?
Just the individual wires. The one on your left hand.
Okay.
The individual ones that are not connected to anything.
So once my wire is done touching the metal part, should I like loop it around and tie it?
Yeah, you can do that. Just make sure it's tight.
So I can just leave the other end like that.
Can I take out a little bit of the plastic?
I think you said insulation. Yeah, you can take off the red insulation or the black insulation. So to like get more wire, you can do that. Just make sure that you're not cutting the copper wire too.
Okay.
Like you can use a knife or a scissor. If you have wire strippers, like where you put the wire inside a hole and then you can strip the wire out, you can also use those. It's better to use those. Okay, so it's like 10:40 on Eastern time. So I'm going to start explaining how you can do the other pieces. So this is the H bridge. So from the top, you can see that these 2 wires of the motor, so these 2 wires of the motor go through this hole, these two go through the hole, the black and red of both, and then they're connected to one of the sides. So it does not matter which one you connect it to, but just make sure one of the red is connected to one side and then the other is connected to the other side. You need a screwdriver for this. So I'll get a screwdriver in a second and then I'll show you how you can take and unplug the red and the black. So you can use a flathead or a star. I'm just gonna use it. So unscrew all the screws on the H bridge. So the people who are still trying to finish the motors, just leave it for now because I'll teach you these and then once we're done with this, you can go back to it. Those are like easy to do, but these ones you have to remember which way you're doing them. So these are important and these are electronics. So if you do the wrong thing, you could fry the board. So it's better to do these. So is it clear to see what I'm doing right now?
Kinda.
Okay, so do this. So I currently tighten all these screws except for this one. So get like a flathead. So this is a flathead, and then a Phillips head or a star is where you can like there's a flathead and a star head that you could use on here. I just found a flathead. So all you do is that you put it in and then you unscrew it. Can you all see me unscrewing the screws? I'm only just gonna do one of them. So this is how you unscrew it. Okay, so all of yours is probably unscrewed. So I take off the wires. My wires are pretty tight.
We have to unscrew all of the screws.
Just not like entirely, just until they reach the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
So
all of them?
every one of them except for one of these, you will not use this one.
Okay.
So on the bottom, there's ground, 5 volts, and 12 volts. Like you can read them here on the H bridge on the opposite side. And then we're only going to use 12 volts and ground, not the 5 volts. We won't use the 5 volts. So flip the H bridge and then you'll see ground 12 volts, like this set. And then if you flip it, there's ground 12 volts and 5 volts. Can't see it. So we're not going to use the 5 volts, just the ground and 12 volts. So you won't connect anything to the 5 volts. So after unscrewing, you just plug the wires in. So you get your two. So I think none of you will actually do this part yet because you haven't tightened these ones yet on the motors. So once you're done tightening all the 8 wires on the motors, then what you do is you just connect one of them to each other. So can all of you tell me if you're all done unscrewing the screws on the H bridge?
Yep.
Okay, so what you do now is that, let's say I have this motor. I have a red and a black on one of the motors. It doesn't matter which motor. So these two sides go on this side of the motor, on this side of the H bridge, and then these two, if you can see my camera, and then these two go on this side of the motor. So there's 2 on the H bridge, and then there's 3 on the middle part. These 2 go here, and then these 2 go here. So let's say I select this wheel and motor. I have 2 I have a black and a red coming out of this motor. What I do is that this is let's say I don't have a black one. So let's say I have this red one this red wire, I connect it to one of the screws. So you can connect it to one of the screws. And then I have the red one and I connect it to the other screw. And then you do the same thing with the other motor on the same side. So are you confused about how you're supposed to connect it?
Yes.
Okay, so if you turn it, if you turn this vertically, the robot or the H bridge, what you'll see is that I will have to remove my screw. Okay, so I removed one of the wheels so that you can see. So if you can see, the wires are actually inside the like the screws. You have to, so once you unscrew them, you have to actually tuck them in.
Should we use the jumper wires or the normal wires?
The regular wires, the regular wires that are connected to the motors. No jumper wires yet. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So you unscrew the top and then there's more room. So I'm trying to pull it out, but I taped it too hard. So you can see the red and the black on one side. Can you see it? Is it clear? So if you can see it, there is a hole once you unscrew it, and then you tuck the wire inside of it. If you can't tuck it, try like putting something small and then like making a hole for it, the wire, and then try putting the wire inside. Pooja, are you able to do it or is it hard?
I'm checking that out right now.
Okay. So if everyone can see, you just unscrew this part and then on the sides, there's like a hole that it shows up and then you tuck the wire inside. So I have this motor, the wheel I just attached. So there's a red and a black for this motor. I connect the red to this side, doesn't matter which side, this side, and then I connect the black to this side. Never connect the red and black of the same motor to one side. That's bad. It's like connecting a positive and a negative. So connect one of the sides to one of the screws and one of the other sides to the other screws. Let's say I have a red and a black. This is the red and this is the black. This is the red and this is the black. Two different fingers. I'd connect them to these two different screws. Never connect them to the same screw. Never connect them to the same screw. Does that make sense, everyone? If you connect them to the same screw, it's like saying that you're connecting a positive to a negative, which is wrong. So always connect one of the reds to one screw and then the other reds to the other black to the other screw. And then when you're done with one of the motors, you do the same thing for the other one. You connect one of the reds to one side and then the black on the other side.
Like I can't connect the wires to the motors. How should I do that?
Can you repeat your question? It's like blurring, like I can't hear you completely.
Like I can't stick the wires with like the black one at the bottom of the motor because it's kind of fun. How should I do it?
You froze. You said you can't connect the black one because why?
Because like in the bottom, it's hard.
Can you share your, can you like open your camera and like share, like point to what you mean? Okay. So which part do you mean? Oh, okay, okay. I see. So if I see. So it's hard for you to do it. So what you can do is unscrew these parts, unscrew the screw and these. So someone was talking about how I can't do the black and the red here. So what you can do, like the blacks on the bottom, closer to the board, what you can do is unscrew these screws and then tighten do the red and the black and then tighten it back again. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, Pooja, you are nodding your head no. So what I meant was that so, someone couldn't screw their black in, like tighten the black in to one of the motor sides. So I told them to unscrew these two screws, take the motor out, and then put the black wire and then screw it back in. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if have you connected the black and red of one motor to the H bridge? Has anyone finished? Okay, you just have to connect one. You can do the rest later. So give me thumbs up if you're done with one of the wires. Someone's on mute. Can you unmute? Can you mute yourselves? Thank you.
Wait, how are you even supposed to tuck our wire if the hole is too tiny?
Oh, okay. So I can't see it right now. So
Oh.
can you like show it closer?
It's like this is all I'm able to do, but not exactly tuck it in.
Okay, so that's tucking it in. So can I
Okay,
see
well,
your wire?
yeah,
Just
but it's from falling out.
wait, can I just see your wire? Like the wire? Pull it out and just the wire. Okay, so the wire, like the copper coil is too small. You have to cut more of it. Cut more of the insulation out. The copper side is too small. You need more copper, so you have to cut the insulation and then fit it in. Then it will fit. The insulation's blocking, that's why it's not fitting into the hole.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone's on mute. On unmute. Could you please mute yourselves? Thank you. Okay. So we have 9 minutes left. So either all of you can stay back and I'll keep teaching, or I could record a video of me explaining the rest. So we have 8 minutes left. So so can someone tell me if I should continue teaching all of you and all of you can stay, or should we all leave and then I'll keep recording later and then post it on YouTube and then you could watch it on YouTube? Which one do you prefer?
Maybe number 2.
Okay, so I'll post it on YouTube. The only thing is that then you can't ask questions. So, but the rest is easier than the H bridge. You just have to put things in and out.
Okay.
Yeah. So you still have 7 minutes, so you can still ask me questions now. So once you're done with the two motors, what you do, okay, so what you do is that you connect, so I have this one motor, I connect the black one here, and then the red one on the other side. Once you're done, just move on so that we can connect the other sides. Let's pretend that you finished these two sides and move on. So now we have these sides. So you have a battery. So you have your 1.5 batteries, right? 1.5 volt batteries, right? Yeah. So don't put them in yet, but have the kit with the wires. So in your kit, the robot kit, there's supposed to be a battery pack with a red and a black. In the robot kit, there's supposed to be a battery pack where you have 4 holes where you could put 4 batteries, and then there's supposed to be a red and a black.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. So once everyone has it, so if you have your H bridge, okay, yeah. So everyone has the red and black wire. So once you have that, you connect it to the H bridge. How do you connect it? So what you do is you have your H bridge, right? You flip it. I can't flip mine, but once you flip the individual H bridge, you will see on the edges 5 volts, ground, and 12 volts. Does everyone see that on their H bridge? On the back side of their H bridge, on their motor controller.
How do you screw the how do you screw this?
Can you speak up?
How do you screw this?
Okay, so Pooja, could you show him like the hole, like where you put in the wires for the H bridge? I'll just show it to you if you can't see it.
I also don't know.
Okay, so he was talking about just in general, like this part.
Let's
So
screw
what you do is you unscrew these. You unscrew all the screws. Just unscrew one, and then I'll show you. Okay, so did you unscrew them?
no like
Okay,
I couldn't fit.
it's okay. Don't unscrew it completely or the screw will fall out. You don't want the screw falling out.
I'm not able to do it.
So you need a star head or a flat head. Like, you know where it has a star in it? There's like, it's like this. It has a star, if you can see it. It looks like a star. Yeah, like that, yeah. Just make sure it's really small. Or you could use a flat head, like this one, like a very thin one. It's very small. You could use that too. It has to be very skinny and small. Okay, so for today we motored the motors and then we did the half of the H bridge. So I will make a separate video of how to do all of them, like with the Arduino and everything, more clearly, and like I'll try to have graphics for animation so you can see what I'm pointing to. So don't worry if you don't finish, but I'll make, like, if your parents know anything about like electronics or anything, they can help you, so ask them. But if they don't, I'll just watch the video and then I can show you because we only have 2 minutes. But if you're done, I'll just show you one of them. So once you're done, like, you have the battery pack, and then there's two wires, the red and the black, correct? Yeah. So the black is the ground. So what you do is you do the same thing. You unscrew these, and then you put the black one in the middle screw. The middle screw, if you turn it over, is ground. Ground means negative, it means black. Colors are important just for helping. If you flip it over, there's ground in the middle. That ground means negative, and that's where you connect the black wire of your battery. So unscrew it and then put the black wire inside. Does that make sense, Pooja? Pooja said, does ground means G and D? Yes. The middle pin is G and D, yeah. So that is ground. So what you do is you connect it. So there's only 2 people left. So
I unscrewed this one here.
good job. So what you do is that if you hold it hold it to your face. Okay, flip it over to the side and then hold it to your face so that you can see these sides. Flip it over so that your eyes can see this.
Yes. That's good.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you do is you get, so let's say my finger's the red wire. So cut the insulation off of the red and black wire
Okay.
and then put it inside. There's supposed to be a hole like inside the screw on one of the sides, and then you put it inside and then you tighten the screw.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Should I do
Okay.
it for all of them?
Yeah, you do them for all 4 wheels, all 4 motors. So you connect the black to one screw and then you connect the red to the other screw. Don't connect the red and black to the same screw. Do not connect the red and black to the same screw.
Then there's no space for the other 2 motors.
Okay, yeah, so it's very tight. You just have to push it in. Also, can I see your wire? The wire? Okay. Could you, so the wire, if you can see there's a copper at the end, cut more insulation, cut the red stuff off so that the copper wire will fit more easily. Make sure you're not cutting the copper, just the insulation. Yeah. Then more copper will fit into the screw, into the hole. Then you can fit 2 of them inside. And then you do the same thing for the others. So there's only 2 people left. Are both of you gonna stay or you have to leave?
Stay.
Okay, you're gonna stay. Okay.
Like, I can also stay.
Okay. So I'll just teach it to 2 of you, and then the other people who left could just watch the video, and then yeah. Okay. So once you connect, so Pooja, did you connect the ground to the middle screw?
Connect the ground to the middle screw.
Yeah. of the H bridge. This
No,
screw.
not yet.
Okay. So are you still working on the motors?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like we should move on so that we could do the other parts because these are repetitive. Like you could just do them on your own because once you do one, the rest are easier to do. So could we just do the could we
I
wire
just
the other parts?
I just have like one question about the motors. So when
Go
you
ahead.
said that it has to touch the metal part and then you have to tie it,
Yeah.
how is it gonna be able to connect to this at the bottom?
So there's supposed to be a hole in the board, and then
Mhm.
you put so you have the motor here, and then it goes through inside the board through the hole, and then it goes through here. Does your wires are your wires that long or are they really short?
I can say they're kind of short,
Okay. So how many red wires do you have in total?
like including this.
No, not including that, just the individual red wires.
I have like 4.
Okay. So
Should I screw this
um,
back when I keep it?
can you repeat that?
Should I screw this back?
Yes. Screw it back. So Pooja, that may be a problem because the wires for me, what I did was that I just added extra wire. So if you only have 4 wires, that might be a problem because I had 8. What I did was I just cut and then tied the 2 coppers together and then taped it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
If it's not long enough, also you could use the jumper wires. I'm sure you have a lot of jumper wires. What you could do is you get a red and then you cut both sides. And then the wire would be just like the wire that you're holding in your hand. And then you cut the insulation off to both sides. And then you could tie the copper together with the other wire, tape it, and then it'll make it longer. That's an
Okay.
idea. Yeah. Okay. And then um once you're finished with the ground with the black wire, what you do is you get a black jumper wire. So you have to have 2 pins. These are pins, if you can see them. So these have pins. So these are male wires. They're just called male wires, but there's male to male wires. So what you do is you get one of them and then put them inside the ground, the GND. So then you would have 2 wires coming out the same screw. Once you're done, you can give me a thumbs up.
Shit. Like I can't take out the screws from here.
I can't hear you. Can you repeat it?
I can't take out the screws here.
I think you said, can I take off the screws? Yeah, you can.
Can I do this?
Can you repeat it?
Can I do this like after the like I'm not able to take out the screws.
Oh, yeah, you can do it later. So, what Pooja and I said was, you have these screws. Can you see my camera?
Yeah.
So these 2 are for the motor, and then this one is for power. So, you have your battery pack, right? That came in the kit.
Yes.
And then there's 2 wires on it. There's a red and a black.
Yes.
Yeah. So the black one connects to the middle screw. of the H bridge.
Got it.
Okay, yeah.
And which one's the red one?
The red one, I'll tell you in a bit, but just make sure that the black one from the battery connects to the middle screw. There's 3, and then just connect it to the middle one. Unscrew it, and then put it inside the hole. Put it inside the hole, and then don't tighten it yet. Do not tighten it, because you have to put a jumper wire.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do that later because I need to like stick it to the motors?
What did you say?
Can I add the wires later because I need to like
Do the motors?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. I have to leave in like 2 minutes. So
Okay.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye. So I will build the whole thing and put a video by tomorrow or today, sometimes soon before next meeting. And then you can watch the video, and I'll send a picture of a circuit diagram of your robots, so it'll make more sense. Thank
Okay.
you for attending. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.